Sometimes this breathwork, a very good image for this is the image of a silk thread. And this is in sometimes many books and sometimes some paintings. They have a reference to this silk thread, subtle breathing. And so over time, this is a mindfulness practice, but you're aware of the quality of your breath and whether your breath is really thick or very thin. And we want to create a feeling of a thin breath. But inside of our body, when the breath goes in, we want the breath to feel very, very expansive and a quality of fullness and openness. Okay? And so a big part of gaining that ability, one, of course, is practice. But the second is really relaxation, relaxing the diaphragm muscle, relaxing all aspects of the body. So today we'll begin with some basics, and during all of these exercises, we'll be engaging in breath work. And just be aware of how you're breathing and whether your breath is very rough or you're able to have a more subtle and refined feeling with the breath. Now, in all of this, we're going to talk about breathing from our Dantian Center. Okay? So the Dantian Center is the center. It's about a spherical shape of about 3.8 centimeters below our navel. And we want to have the sense that we're breathing from that center. Okay? Now, the sense of breathing from the Dantian can only come when the mind intention is more connected to the Dantian. Okay? And so this is very important that we're able to have more inner experience with our mind and the body. And we allow the breath to follow the location of the mind. We never use mind to push the breath. Okay? And so this is very important. The meaning is you let the breath change naturally as you practice. We never, from the first session, try to really push the breath or use strength with the breath. Okay? And so this is like we can say, a principle of yielding or a principle of naturalness. And this is a very important part of the Taoist way to practice. Okay? So this muscle here, tighten around your Dantian, physically lift your shoulders up and really extend the palm and the fingers and look at your toes. Okay? And hold this area tightly. Sometimes this kind of movement in Chinese is called a Dao Yin, sometimes called a Dao Yin movement. And these are basic exercises, but very good to master. And they help with the physical longevity and also creating the good physical condition for more advanced energy work. And so then this is a traditional view of Taoist practice. There's some basic abilities of connected strength, flexible strength, and also certain aspects of flexibility within the tendons that are a basic standard. And so we're going to go over some of these basic exercises in the beginning now. And they're really good for advanced practice, but they're also really good for physical health and keeping you with a young feeling. Now, the last part of class today, we're going to do a little bit more focus with the Dantian breathing and the Dantian development. And we'll be using the exercise, the Dragon and Tiger exercise. So this Dragon and Tiger Qigong, or the Dragon and Tiger movement, the term Dragon and Tiger is a reference to yin and yang. Okay? And so that can have many different meanings. One meaning is simply that the yang energy rises up and the yin energy should descend down in the body. But for most people, this is an imbalance. And so this movement in one way is seeking to balance the flow of the yin and the yang energies in the body, but also to start this process that the energies rise up the spine and come down the front of the body. And this sometimes is called the microcosmic orbit or the small heavenly cycle. And there's a few different versions of how we practice this exercise. But here, when we do the Dragon and Tiger Qigong, this is more, we have an idea that this energy can move with our breath. So for example, when we inhale, this energy can rise up. When we exhale, this energy can come down. So as we perform these movements today, we'll have a little sense of a wave-like quality within our body, and a wave-like motion. Like this. If there's a rising up and a coming down, a rising up and a coming down, and this starts to engender an energy flow within the body. The other aspect of the Dragon and Tiger Qigong is that we're drawing energy and breath to the Dantian Center. And so as we perform, we want to feel this opening or this expansion in our Dantian Center, and then a contraction in the Dantian Center. So this opens, closes, opens, contracts. And when the Dantian contracts, this is like the energies get packed together. We're gathering more energies. Energies are compressing, and more energies are forming here. And so this is a Dragon and Tiger exercise. So this is a basic teaching, but this is can also be a very advanced practice if you go deeply into this. At the end of the Dragon and Tiger, we have the embrace the universe posture that we hold like this. Okay? And when we hold this posture, we again want to concentrate the mind to the Dantian Center, drawing the breath to the Dantian. When you're able to really have the breath connect to your Dantian Center, you will feel a warmth develop. So you take a slow inhale, and as you're breathing in, it's like a warm water or some heat starts to open like this in the Dantian. This is a kind of transformation of your chi energies in the Dantian Center. And we want to reach the level where we can have this feeling of generating energy with the breath. Now, this generation of the energy when you breathe can only take place if you have a subtle breath. If the wind of your breath is too strong, it blows this heat away. There's no feeling, no sensation. So this is a kind of a balance point in the beginning. If you breathe too subtly, there's also no feeling. If you breathe in too strongly, there's no feeling. So really there's a middle position or a middle quality of your breathing. And we're searching for this middle quality of the breath. And so oftentimes in many of the old Taoist books that talked about practice, they would talk about tuning the breath. Okay, so we tuned the breath like a musical instrument. And so this is where we go through a process of changing how we're breathing. Breathing. In. Exhale, coming down, and then we'll push out. Inhale, circle. Exhale, coming in. Level heart center. Now continue focusing on breathing into your Dantian Center. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. This is just a little basic training, but everything that we learn in the beginning is very, very important. And everything that we're doing has a reason. And so we can think of 3 main points. One is this idea of changing the physical body, and this is a physical transformation. Okay? So that's some of the different movements or the stretches are for opening up the joints, opening up the tendons. We learn to relax the muscle and release any stored tension. So that is a process, and usually we have movements and some dynamic stretching, but also the stillness stretching, sometimes called the yin stretching now. Okay, and this is a basic training. Now, the other thing that we can look at that's a basic is this changing of the way that we breathe, the changing of the quality of the breath, changing the rhythm of the breath, the inhale and the exhale. So this transformation and this changing of the breath is very important. The third point, so change the body, change the breath. Third point is a mind and return to combine with the Dantian Center. So we're able to bring our outward focus of the mind into this Dantian Center. Now, in the process of learning to concentrate the mind, we also have to go through some purification of the heart, or we can say purification of the mind, which means the way that we concentrate is very pure and very, very refined. And what this means, basically, is qualities that we use in the external world, like a competition. We compete, we can be aggressive, we can exhibit strength, we actively do something in the external world, we work hard. All of these qualities we cannot use in the internal world. So we have to learn to concentrate, but we concentrate with a naturalness. And we also concentrate with what we call a nurturing quality. But this is nothing with a force, nothing with strength. We're using naturalness and also nurturing, or even we can use the word compassion. And this is the quality we learn to focus internally. And that's very important. So usually, traditionally, this is called a heart transformation or heart purification. So these are all some of the basic things that we need to be aware of and that we start to work on. And these kind of techniques we did today are some kind of method where we can start to facilitate that development of those attributes. And that's an important idea. These are attributes. Now, when we talk about transformation of the physical body, this also gets into the understanding of the energy meridian system. And that as we transform the tissues, and also the tendon and the fascia tissue, this also helps to create a condition for meridians to start to open. But the most important idea is that meridians cannot open just from doing something physically. All meridians are connected to the Dantian Center. If you're not doing work to open the Dantian and develop energy in the Dantian, the meridians cannot open in the body. So we should understand meridians open from the Dantian to the extremity. So like we could say here, 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 here. Okay? A meridian in the arm will not open from doing just like a physical stretch. Those are some important concepts. Yeah. So we'll continue learning and continue practicing.